What's up, guys? I'm Joe. Appreciate you stopping by the channel. Hope you're all doing well. So as you can see, we have something a little different going on here today. There's a little project that I'm working on, and I'll give you a little quick idea of what I'm doing here. So I got some canvas. I got some fleece. The fleece is the lining for the canvas. And you kind of get you probably already have an idea of what I'm going to be working on. So this is my sewing machine. This is a Brother Strong and Tough ST150 HDH. I taught myself how to use a sewing machine back in 2020 when COVID hit. You couldn't get any masks, you couldn't get any PPE at all, and people on eBay and Etsy were being assholes and selling masks, homemade masks, for $10, $15, $20 a piece. And I thought that was ridiculous that they were taking advantage of people just because of a health crisis. Now, let me just say, I'm not here to debate anything about COVID, the politics of COVID, the causes of COVID. That's not what I'm here for. I don't care about any of that. I'm just telling you, how I got into using a sewing machine, how I taught myself to use a sewing machine. But anyway, we were cranking out masks, and we decided that we weren't going to sell them. We were just going to give them to people. So we would spend hours a day. We couldn't go anywhere but work. We went to work. Everything was closed, so we went to work, or I went to work. Sadie was able to work from home. I had to go in to work. I didn't have a job where I could work from home. So I had to go in every day, and I had to be out in public every day. And they did give us masks, but they were masks that we had to use when we were on duty. And I needed something for when I was home, so I made my own. And like I said, I was just giving them to people. I wasn't selling them, and we made hundreds of them. We got really good at it too. I still got some of the supplies in a box. If I ever needed to crank out some more, I can just start cranking them out. All right, but anyway, what we're going to be doing today, I'm going to try and do this video. It's going to be in pieces. And this first one is going to be setting up the machine. So what I have here is, this is upholstery thread. This is probably one of the strongest you're going to find. And I needed something strong for what I'm going to be doing. And I'm going to be changing out the needle. There's a standard needle in here now, but I'm going to be changing it out to these number 18 heavy duty needles. And then we're going to wind a bobbin and all that fun stuff. But this is going to be the first in the series. So machine's off. You definitely don't want the machine on when you're going to try and do this. I apologize for the camera. It's mounted to, let's take that one out there. It's mounted to the table, so it's going to shake a little bit when I move it. I'll try not to bump it around too much. All right, let's take one of these needles out here. Now these sewing machine needles, they have a round spot and they have a flat spot. The flat spot goes to the back. Just want to get this up and slide this in there. Sometimes it's a little tricky to get these in there. Put the foot down, make it a little easier. There we go. Crank that down, tighten that up, we're good to go. Let me just check something real quick. there's a hole in the needle where the thread goes in, and this is an automatic needle threader, and there's a hook. I'm just making sure that it's gonna hit that hook. The hook drops inside there. Yeah, we're good. All right, let's get rolling with the thread. And let me move this camera a little bit so you can see a little bit of what's going on here. All right, so we drop the thread on here. Put this on so it doesn't come flying off. Actually, let me turn this around. There we go. It was unwinding from the back here. I wanted to unwind from the front. Come around here. There's a diagram on the top that tells you where the thread path is. Now this is specifically for, we're going to be winding the bobbin. Pop that on there, slide that over, tell the machine that we're going to be winding a bobbin. We're on. This can get a little tricky sometimes. There we go. And when this bobbin gets full, it'll start to skip and stop. There we go. Slide that over. Take the bobbin off. Thread. Now I gotta, threading the machine is a whole different animal here. It's a different path. So we are gonna, first thing we're gonna do is get the bobbin in down here. Move that so you can see what I'm doing. So it unwinds counterclockwise. Follow this path here. There's a cutter right here at the end. Pull it, put that right there. And your bobbin is installed, ready to go. All right, now we're going to thread the machine. Down here. Around here. Again, there's all kinds of diagrams up around that tell you how to move the thread. It's an automatic threader. Pull this through, drop this down underneath the foot, and then we are going to try and capture the bobbin thread here. If we do this right, should have the bobbin thread right there. There we go. You have your top thread and your bottom thread. Just trim this right here. All right. I had some test canvas I was working with. Put this needle away. Again, sorry about the camera shaking around. So this is the piece of test canvas that I've been using to kind of decide what kind of thread, what kind of stitch I want to use here. So I'll just give you a quick show on that. You can see I've been doing testing a couple different stitches here, how I want this to work. So I'll just give you a quick show on what I'm doing here. Make sure the thread's moving. That's not bad, but let me just, it's not too bad. It's here, it's a little jagged. So we're gonna have to, we're gonna adjust the tension. Adjust the tension a little bit here. I'm going really slow here because I don't know how this thread's going to react. I just want to make sure. That's better. That's a little bit nicer. So that's a little bit cleaner. You see the back side of it here. It's this one here. Almost looks like a chain. Still gonna mess with that tension a little bit. I think it's a little bit off. Let's try another one. speed a little bit here. That's it. That's not bad. Still don't like how it's doing it, what it's doing in the back here. All right. Couple more adjustments to the tension, I think. And we'll have it. Yeah, this is not a sewing. This is not a sewing channel. I'm just kind of messing around here, showing you something different that I'm doing. And I am by no means a pro at this. Let's turn that down a little bit. Slow the speed down a little bit so we're not shaking the curtain, shaking the hell out of the table. Yeah, jam up. There we go. I didn't put the foot down. Caused all kinds of problems. Like I said, not a pro. This is more of a kind of a something that I do as a little bit of a hobby, just to kind of relax. I'm just trimming up some of these threads here. Getting them out of the way. All right. Let's try this again. There we go. Yeah, if you ever want to know what happens when you don't put the foot down on your sewing machine, that's what happens. Oh, that's better. I think that's going to be a stitch. I think this is going to be a stitch. So this is what we got now. That's a nice clean stitch. Back looks pretty good too. So when you're switching out, I switched out needles using a heavier thread. You have to kind of mess with the machine tension to see what's going to work. It also has a lot to do with the fabric you're using and things like that too. So, all right, that's just a quick little introduction to something that I'm working on here. This is not a tutorial or anything like that. Like I said, I am by no means a pro, but this is just a little project I'm working on. Whether or not this is going to become something, I don't know, but we're going to try. I'm just trimming off some of these threads because I got a couple more things I got to test out. But we'll see if I can get this to work. Then hopefully what I'm trying to make here. Let's give you a quick idea. So this is going to fold over. And hopefully what I'm trying to make here, this is going to fold over like that. then there's going to be a flap that comes down like that. You guys get the idea of what I'm working on, right? All right, that'll do it. I'm gonna get back to messing around with this. I got a bunch of soap I gotta make today too. So appreciate you watching. If you have any comments, if any of this interests you at all, go ahead and throw a comment in. I'm gonna be I'll try and keep track of them. I'm gonna be, like I said, I'm gonna be making soap, so I'm gonna be on and off my phone most of the day. All right, guys, thanks for watching. That'll do it. Take care.